Hi everyone. Today we will study a new lesson of biology, that is respiration in organisms. Children, if you walk fast or run fast, what do you feel yourself? You feel choking. That means breathing fast. Have you ever thought why you breathe fast while walking briskly or running fast? This is because you breathe always to get energy. So during heavy exercise or while you walking or running fast, you need more energy. So more energy will be provided when more oxygen is available to the cells. This is the reason why when you walk fast or run fast, you feel choking, or breathlessness. Children, let's see what is respiration. Have you heard the term respiration? Respiration means it is a process in which the cells utilize energy and releases oxygen. We eat food for what? The food contains stored energy. The stored energy which is present in the food will be released in the cells when oxygen is available to the cells. Okay. So, how does the oxygen available to the cells? Children, in the previous class you had learned about cells. What are cells? The structural and functional units of an organism is called cell. So, the body of all organisms are made up of cells. These cells are very microscopic that we cannot see with our naked eye. We can observe these cells only under a microscope. So what are the functions of these cells? The cells do all the life activities such as nutrition, respiration, excretion, reproduction, etc. All the life activities will be taking place inside the cell. This is why the cell is called the functional unit of an organism. So, whenever an organism eats food, these food will be taken into the stomach and intestine where it will be digested completely and the nutrients are absorbed by the blood and the blood carries these nutrients to the cells. Suppose let us think about glucose. Glucose is a nutrient present in the cell. So, the energy is stored in the glucose that You had learned about photosynthesis, and during photosynthesis, the plants utilize water and carbon dioxide, and in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, they synthesize glucose. You have learned that the primary food prepared by a plant is glucose. And in the glucose, the energy is stored, that is solar energy converted into chemical energy. So, during respiration, the stored energy, the stored chemical energy is released and this energy is utilized by all organisms. The organism, whether it simply sits, sleeps or reads or writes, all these times all the organisms need energy. How do the organisms get energy? They get energy from the food they eat. Okay? And during the respiration, the energy present in the food will be released. This process is taking place ultimately in the cells. So, the process is called cellular respiration. So cellular respiration taking place inside the cell. So in the cell what happens is when oxygen reacts with the glucose, the oxygen splits up glucose into water and carbon dioxide, and the energy stored is released. And again we can remember during photosynthesis water and carbon dioxide and energy, solar energy is utilized for making glucose. These ingredients of carbon dioxide, water and energy will be released during the process of respiration. And this is called cellular respiration. So what is cellular respiration? Cellular respiration is a process in which the glucose splits up into carbon dioxide, water and energy in the presence of oxygen is called cellular respiration. So, the cellular respiration can be taken place in two ways. It can be taken place in the presence of oxygen and in the absence of oxygen. The cellular respiration taking place in almost all the organisms in the presence of oxygen, and which is known as aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration. So what is aerobic respiration? Aerobic respiration is a process in which the breakdown of glucose taking place in the presence of oxygen. This occurs in almost all the organisms. But in some lower organisms such as in yeast, all of you know yeast, we will be making using this yeast for making bread and appam. Okay, so in yeast, the oxidation, the breaking up of glucose can be taking place in the absence of oxygen. The process is called anaerobic respiration. So what is anaerobic respiration? Anaerobic respiration is the opposite of aerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, oxygen is needed, and in anaerobic respiration, oxygen is not needed. So, in the absence of oxygen, if breaking up of glucose takes place, it is called anaerobic respiration. And the organisms which respire in the absence of oxygen can be said to be anaerobes. Anaerobes means anaerobes. Anaerobes. Anaerobe means organisms which can break up glucose in the absence of oxygen. Okay. So, let us study in detail about aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration.